Hello, this is Jeff Robertson with Penton Audio USA and Atis Electronics, and this is a quick little tutorial video on how to actually set up your RAC5 or 8 analog remote control zone selector switch with your UAP. This procedure will also work with all the other DSPs as well, so please keep this in mind. So we had a quick tutorial video before on actually how to map elements and controls to any kind of analog control, including the front panels. A quick refresher, I've got a demo design up here right now, and I've just got one of my little RAC5s, which is a 5-position selector switch with a volume control on a single Decora style plate. And it's wired with standard Cat5 4-pair back to the UAP, and it takes up control inputs, analog control inputs number 1 and 2. Analog control input being number 1 being the one that I wired the selector switch up to, and analog control input number 2 being the one that I actually wired up the volume control portion of the switch up to. So let's just say I got this 4x1 selector switch in room 1, and I want to control the output level going to volume control to room 1 through this output right here. So first thing I want to do is let's open up the selector. I'm going to right click on the selector switch itself, go down to control, and it's going to be analog. That's the name of my machine, and the selector switch I'm going to enable for channel 1 because that's where I physically wired the selector switch part. I will open up this zone output, and I'm going to room number 1, and we're going to do the same thing. Go down to control, we're going to say analog in, that's my machine, and I'm actually going to be on input number 2, so that's channel 2. Now remember, on your unit, on your block unit, right click on it, go to your external select, and see I made all of my 16 control inputs analog. So the only ones you would see in that pull down list when you go to map stuff is whatever's mapped to be analog. If I had any of these for TTL, they would not show up, and you could not map an analog or wire an analog device into that port. So that's just a quick reminder, which is reflected in our TTL logic and our analog mapping tutorial videos. So now we are actually connected and running, so I will compile, and we're good, and I will go ahead and store this into the machine. And there we go. We'll say yes. The URC is fine, which I have also connected up to it, which has really nothing to do with this video. So I'll stop this. So let's just double check my RAC here, and let's see if this thing is working. Now remember, we're going to be looking at this fader, and we're going to be looking at this channel selector. So I want to start selecting my switch. So I'm going to, it's on 1 now. I hit it on 2. There's 3. There's 4. And I went to 5, but it only stops at 4 because there's only 4 positions on my selector switch. I don't have a 5th input on there. So that seems to be working fine. Now let's go look at my volume control right here. I'm going to turn it all the way down. There we go. And I'm going to turn it all the way up. And there we go. Now, let's just say that I can actually show you on the selector switch here. I want to make number 5 my 4 position, my max position, and make number 2 or number 1 my minimum. Or let's just say I was turning these and they weren't switching right, or they were erratic, or I was doing my volume control down here and it was all over the place. Well, we have a really nice feature. It's called our VR calibration. You have to do this when the system is live and you're in operational mode, which we are. Go up to Tools, and you see VR calibration. So we will click on that. So you go to all your channels, and let's just say I want to channel 1. And what we do is I say minimum. So my selector switch is minimum, and it says please confirm minimum. I will turn it all the way to 1, and I will say OK. And we'll go to maximum, and I say OK. I want to turn my switch all the way up to 5, and we'll say OK for maximum. And then let's just go channel 2, which is where I have my volume control. Minimum, I turn my volume control all the way to the left. OK. And maximum, I turn my volume control all the way to the right, and I said yes. So there, now we're calibrated. So let's watch my switch. I'm on 5. Now see, I switched at 1 and went to 3, 2, 1, but I'm only on 2, and I just switched it to 1. So 1 and 2, which I said was my minimum, will go to 1, and I said 5 was my maximum, and I only have 4 positions, so it moved my channel 4 up to 5. I can fix that by going to VR calibration, and I want to make sure I'm back on analog channel 1 where my selector is. Minimum, I will leave that at 1, so I turn my switch to 1, and OK. But maximum, I'm going to turn my switch only up to 4, and I hit OK. There we go. Now I turn my switch all the way to 1. There's 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to turn it one more to the right, and it doesn't change. So 4 and 5 just stay on 4 because I only got 4 sources and I got 5 positions. So there you go. That's a quick little easy tutorial on how to calibrate your analog control devices, because they're going to have different wire lengths, different wire gauges. There's going to be different resistive values based on the resistive or the line loss or impedance loss in the cable. So this is the way to make sure all your volume controls and all of your selector switches out there in your installation are running perfectly. So don't forget about the VR calibration. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.